She didn't wake up one day and decide to lose you. She slowly fell asleep to your value and didn't realize it until the silence got loud. Listen carefully. When someone takes you for granted, it rarely looks like cruelty. It looks like comfort, familiarity, the dangerous belief that you will always be there exactly as you are, no matter how little effort they give back. This is where most men and women misunderstand attraction. They think being reliable, available, and endlessly understanding will secure love. In reality, it often erases urgency. At the beginning, you were not predictable. Your attention felt earned. Your presence felt chosen, not guaranteed. That uncertainty created emotional gravity. She leaned in because she didn't fully own you yet. Over time, consistency without boundaries quietly rewired the dynamic. You became safe, then expected, then invisible. Not because you lost worth, but because your worth stopped feeling scarce. Here's the truth few people admit out loud: humans don't miss what is always accessible. The nervous system stops reacting to what it believes is permanent. When effort is no longer required, appreciation fades. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. The brain conserves emotional energy by prioritizing what feels at risk of being lost. When she took you for granted, it wasn't a conscious dismissal of you as a person. It was a subconscious recalibration. Your messages no longer spiked her dopamine. Your presence stopped triggering curiosity. Your sacrifices blended into the background like wallpaper. You stopped noticing after years in the same room. But something else happened beneath the surface. Every time you overgave, you trained her nervous system to relax. Every time you stayed calm while feeling undervalued, you signaled that the imbalance was acceptable. Over time, she didn't feel chased by your absence. She felt anchored by your availability. And anchors don't create longing. They create stability without desire. This is where resentment quietly grows. Not dramatic resentment, subtle emotional numbness. She didn't feel the spark disappear in one moment. She felt it dim slowly, like a light left on for so long that the eyes forget it's even there. And because you didn't leave, didn't pull back, didn't change the rhythm, her mind assumed you never would. Yet the brain has a strange response to contrast. The moment something familiar withdraws, the nervous system panics. The same presence that felt ordinary becomes emotionally loud when it's gone. Silence forces reflection. Absence turns background noise into a missing frequency. This is why women don't miss men while they're being over-available. They miss them when the emotional ecosystem changes. When the energy they relied on disappears, the mind scrambles to understand why. And in that space, memory sharpens. The good moments replay, the laughter echoes, the sense of being chosen returns too late. You were never boring. You were just too constant in a world wired to respond to change. And the moment that constancy breaks, the realization begins. Missing doesn't begin with tears, it begins with confusion. The first thing she feels when your energy shifts isn't heartbreak, it's disorientation. Her nervous system was calibrated around your presence, your replies, your emotional availability, your willingness to meet her halfway, even when she pulled back. When that pattern breaks, the brain searches for explanations, not emotionally at first, but logically. He's busy, he's stressed, he'll come back to normal. That's denial in its quietest form. But as time passes, something uncomfortable happens. The mind starts noticing gaps. The phone doesn't light up the way it used to. The emotional safety net feels thinner. And here's the critical psychological shift. She can no longer predict you. Unpredictability reintroduces value. Not because you're playing games, but because the certainty she relied on is gone. At this stage, memory becomes selective. The brain doesn't replay the moments where she felt bored or annoyed. It replays the moments where she felt understood, supported, desired. The laughter feels louder in hindsight. Your presence feels warmer now that it's absent. This is not nostalgia, it's loss perception. The mind highlights what might be gone to motivate reconnection, and this is where most people make a mistake. They think missing is about pain. It's not. Missing is about contrast. The emotional system compares asterisk, now asterisk to asterisk, then asterisk. When then had stability, attention, and emotional grounding, and now feels uncertain, the brain assigns higher value to the past version of you. This is why chasing never works. Pursuit removes contrast. It restores familiarity too quickly. When you keep offering the same access after being taken for granted, the nervous system relaxes again. There is no emotional alarm, no reason for the mind to reassess your value. What actually triggers missing is emotional interruption, not anger, not punishment. A calm withdrawal of excess energy, less explaining, less availability, more internal focus. This creates a psychological vacuum, and the human mind hates vacuums. It fills them with thought, memory, and curiosity. She starts wondering what changed, not because you announced it, but because she feels it. Wondering is powerful. Wondering is the doorway to missing. When someone starts wondering about your inner world again, attraction quietly reawakens. There's another layer most people ignore. When you stop overgiving, you also stop reinforcing her emotional authority. The dynamic shifts from she leads, you follow, to he chooses, not chases. Choice is magnetic. Being chosen feels different when it's no longer guaranteed. At this point, she may reach out casually, not to confess missing you, but to test availability. A small message, a subtle check-in. This isn't closure, it's data collection. She's trying to see if the old dynamic still exists. If it doesn't, the emotional tension increases. And tension is the birthplace of desire. Understand this clearly. She doesn't miss the version of you who waited. She misses the version of you who had direction, presence, and emotional gravity. When that version resurfaces through absence and self-respect, the mind connects the dots. Missing isn't about manipulation. It's about restoring balance. And balance always reveals value that comfort hides. Here's the part most people never see while it's happening. When she starts missing you, it scares her, not because missing is weak, but because it threatens the story she told herself, the story where she was in control, where you were steady, predictable, and emotionally available on demand. When that version of reality breaks, the mind experiences cognitive tension. Asterisk. Why does his absence feel heavier than his presence used to? That question alone signals a shift in power. At this stage, she doesn't label it as longing. She feels restlessness, irritation, a subtle pull toward checking your social presence or replaying conversations. The emotional system is recalibrating. What once felt optional now feels unresolved, and unresolved emotions don't stay quiet. This is when comparison begins. She measures new interactions against the emotional baseline you set, not consciously, but neurologically. Other conversations feel thinner. Other attention lacks depth. Because what she lost wasn't just you, it was the way you made her nervous system feel regulated. Safe, seen, grounded, safety, when removed, becomes noticeable. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You became part of her emotional infrastructure. And when infrastructure disappears, life doesn't collapse immediately. It becomes inefficient, emotionally noisy, less comfortable. She may still function, still smile, still move forward, but something feels off. That's the cost of taking someone for granted. You don't feel the loss at first. You feel the imbalance. And this is where restraint matters. If you rush back into the old role, you teach her nervous system that nothing has truly changed. The lesson evaporates. But when you remain steady, self-directed, and non-reactive, something deeper happens. She's forced to sit with the feeling instead of escaping it. Missing matures in silence. She begins to reinterpret the past. Moments that felt small now feel meaningful. Your patience becomes strength. Your consistency becomes character. Your absence reframes your presence. This is why attraction often returns with clarity after distance. The fog of comfort lifts. But there's a line here many people cross. Trying to engineer missing through coldness or cruelty backfires. Emotional shutdown creates fear, not desire. What creates longing is calm detachment paired with self-respect. You don't disappear to punish. You redirect energy to yourself. Growth is the loudest signal. As you rebuild your own rhythm, your health, your purpose, your boundaries, you stop orbiting her emotional weather. And that independence does something powerful. It communicates that your value exists with or without validation. That message lands deeply, even if unspoken. Now, if she reaches out more directly, it's not because she suddenly realized your worth in a romantic movie moment. It's because her internal equilibrium wants restoration. She wants to feel the emotional coherence she lost. And whether that happens depends on one thing: who you are now, not who you were before. If you return as the same overextended version, the cycle resets. Comfort replaces appreciation. But if you engage from a place of choice, clarity, and boundaries, the dynamic evolves. Missing turns into respect. Respect turns into attraction that's conscious, not assumed. You see, being missed isn't the goal. Being valued is. Missing is just the bridge the mind uses to cross from indifference back to awareness. And awareness, once awakened, changes how someone treats you if you allow it to. This is how taking someone for granted ends, not with confrontation, not with begging, but with transformation that makes absence impossible to ignore. Here's the final truth most people never hear. When someone starts missing you, the outcome is decided by your self-respect, not their emotions. Missing is fragile. It can deepen into desire, or it can dissolve back into indifference. What determines the direction is whether you learned the lesson that the situation was trying to teach you. If you treat her renewed attention as proof that you're finally enough, you hand your power back. The nervous system feels that immediately. Familiarity creeps in again, urgency fades, and history quietly prepares to repeat itself. But if you understand what actually happened, you move differently. You no longer give access to the parts of you that were taken for granted. You don't over-explain your value. You don't audition for attention. You show up grounded, present, and selective. This doesn't mean cold. It means intentional. Your time, energy, and emotional depth are offered by choice, not habit. This is where real attraction lives. When she senses that your life is full of direction, standards, and self-trust, she experiences something rare, being invited instead of being centered. That shift changes everything. People protect what they feel lucky to have, not what they feel entitled to. And here's the part that's uncomfortable but necessary. Sometimes she misses you and still doesn't come back the way you hoped. Not because you weren't valuable, but because missing revealed a truth rather than creating one. In those cases, the missing wasn't a call to reconnect. It was a signal that the chapter had meaning, not permanence. That's not failure. That's clarity. The goal was never to make someone chase you. The goal was to stop abandoning yourself to keep someone comfortable. When you stop doing that, the right people lean in and the wrong ones fade out, often while missing you. Both outcomes serve you. If she does return, and you've done the internal work, the connection feels different, slower, more mutual, less anxious. You're no longer trying to secure her interest. You're observing alignment. That calm confidence is felt instantly. It creates respect before romance and safety before passion. And if she doesn't return, something equally powerful happens. You realize that being taken for granted taught you how to value yourself more precisely. You become harder to overlook, not because you demand attention, but because you no longer leak it. People miss what they couldn't replace. But more importantly, you stop needing to be missed. To know your worth. That's the shift that changes everything. So here's the question I want you to sit with, honestly. No performance, no ego. Have you ever stayed longer than you should have, hoping someone would finally see your value? If this spoke to you, answer that question in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. If this video helped you see relationships more clearly, like the video, subscribe for deeper psychological insights, and share this with a friend who needs to hear this before they lose themselves trying to be chosen.